Hey friends, it's UrsulasRevenge, and we have another big update day today. But this time it is a blog post, so it's the triple crown of videos for me this week. We had an update, a roadmap, and now a blog post. And this is a doozy of a blog post, including previews into the upcoming Summer Daze, the behind the scenes for the Style Rider show, and the highly anticipated update to the Trailblazer track. So let's get into this. I will read it. You guys can watch me train, and let's dive into this blog post. Starting off, we have the Summer Daze article written by Ella, the narrative designer. Hey there, Star Fam. You got a blog interruption there by my fellow narrative designer, but your friendly neighborhood dumpster critter is back. Me. Can you feel that? The warm summer sun on your skin, the fresh scent of flowers in bloom, a nice cooling ice cream, or perhaps that's just me wrapped in a blanket in front of the TV, miserable with hay fever and a pint of ice cream in my lap. Regardless of how it looks to you, summer is here, and with that, Summer Daze is taking over Fort Pinta Beach in just a few days. As you may know, I've been spending my days at Fort Pinta Beach for a couple of months already, and boy do I have the scoop for you. So remember Ben and Bruce? It wouldn't be Summer Daze without them, so of course they're back on the beach this year. But do you remember the smoothie guy, Shibby Tim? You won't believe just how jealous he's been. I mean, I get it. He was Bruce's main man until that Ben showed up, saying he's that beach and claiming to be Bruce's best friend. He doesn't even acknowledge the history that Tim and Bruce share. On the other hand, being beach is simply Ben's job. He was hired specifically to take care of Bruce. It's not unusual to form special bonds with that kind of partnership. In any case, there's been a rivalry brewing between the two Beach Boys. Who truly is Bruce's best friend? I'm not picking sides, but let me tell you, this drama is really starting to resemble a reality show. You know, triangle drama, trash talk, challenges, someone profiting off of it, classic stuff. To get away from all of that, I've been chatting to Brooke about the favorite way to spend time during summer. You bet I'll be spending a couple of hours cruising down the river with my best friends. I don't seem to be the only one yearning for some peace and quiet in the water. Bruce has actually invited me to hitch a ride around the fort with him. Who would I be to say no? There's also this girl. She's dressed in bright colors and droning on about the midnight sun. It seems like she wants to bring some more color to a dock on the beach. Perhaps I'll head over there and help out after I finish this tropical smoothie Rhea gave me. Or I'll just have one more and check out her race. Oof, your Vegans expecting me to help out. What's new? And on that note, it might also be time for me to head off Fort Pinta Beach and onto Starshine Ranch to help out over there. Wear sunscreen, eat ice cream, and enjoy summer. Later. Okay, so it's kind of like an overview of the new activities that we will be seeing over at Summer Daze. We have talk about the rivalry between Ben and Shibby Tim, confirmation that there will be challenges along with their rivalry. It seemed like that from the roadmap, that it would kind of have sort of like weekly challenges that are like based on like the chore board, but like they would have something new each week to like, I don't know, prove their devotion to Bruce. I don't know. Either way, I think that it sounds like really fun, to be honest with you. It's nice to be reminded of the context of their rivalry though. I think I started playing after the old beach festival. I think I was able to like play it maybe once, but at that point Shibby Tim didn't really have that much of a presence. So I don't even remember Shibby Tim having a bond with Bruce, but I believe that to be true because since there was beach festivals where he was more prevalent, that may have been established there and I just didn't experience it. So I'm kind of excited to see how this plays out. Also really excited about the lazy river. Even if it's not like an active thing, if it's just like, you know, a passive place to just hang out and chat with your friends, I'm down for that. It sounds cute. We also know that there are new races coming. Bruce has a race around Fort Pinto's waters. Rhea has a tropical race. We also know that there's going to be a dock decoration daily. One thing that I wanted to point out was Midnight Sun, which is a thing that happens in Scandinavian countries where at like the height of summer, the sun just stays up because of where it's placed, like, you know, on the world and in rotation with like the sun and the moon and everything. Star Stable actually also has a short story called Under the Midnight Sun that I have listened to via audiobook. For research for one of my Star Stable lore videos, the Lost Sisterhood one. In the story, Anne can't fall asleep because of the midnight sun, so she goes out for a ride. Her mom actually winds up following her because they had an argument, they're not seeing eye to eye, and Anne is surprised that her mom can actually ride horses, and then they have like this whole heart-to-heart about how her mom knows that Anne is a soul rider because Anne's mom was also a soul rider. It's a really sweet short story, you should read it. I've had this conversation with Apple before about how Jorvik, depending on where it is, would experience a midnight sun, and it's kind of like weird that we don't have a midnight sun in Jorvik. And maybe that's just the way that like the day-night cycle is set up, but I think it would be really cool if there was like a week of the year in Star Stable, like maybe during Summer Daze where the sun didn't go down and it was a midnight sun. I think it would just be like a cute detail. Not to say that they're going to do that, it's just the mentioning of the midnight sun just reminded me of that idea, and I just wanted to throw it in here, you know? Anyway, I'm very excited to experience Summer Daze again. All the things new, all the things returning. It was such a fun event last year, and I am so excited and ready for it to come back next week. The next article is titled Style Rider Show, and this one is written by Daniel, the game designer. Howdy! From the rear of the horse to the front lines of fashion, it's good to be back on the blog since our last encounter in the Winter Village. This time for a bit of a new project. About a year ago, me and a few other designers took note of our immense clothing collection, and yet our way of sharing things between players was entirely outside of the game. We started thinking, how can we bring fashion into the gameplay? And thus we landed on the first idea of Style Rider Show. Since our announcement of the event, I've seen so many questions about the location, name, availability, and many other things. Therefore, I'll take the time to explain some of this. To start with, this event will be available for all players, Star Rider or not, as long as they have unlocked Fort Pinta. As for the location, let's address the raptor elephant in the room, the mall. Why didn't we put it there? Well, we saw 3 big concerns about using the old location. Number 1, it takes too long to get there. The mall was my first idea as well. We already have this location, let's use it. However, we quickly realized that once there, players wouldn't have much else to do besides the Style Rider Show, which would cause a lot of players to skip it entirely. Number 2, the art style is not updated. Not only that, but updating a location like that takes a lot more time than we had time for this project. This is usually the limiting factor when using old assets. And number 3, horses. We needed horses to be part of the experience. After all, this is a horse game. Without some major reworks, bringing a horse into the mall and then into Fashion Week location was simply not doable. Beyond these points, we also want to make sure that Fashion Week and Style Rider shows are not confused. We don't want people to expect concerts and role-playing when we're doing multiplayer competitions. Yes, you read that right. Actual multiplayer experiences in Star Stable Online. This also brings its own set of challenges, such as what information to show players during competition. Where do we draw the line between clarity and overwhelming? It's not easy. We can only learn by doing and then improving. This project is what we call an MVP, a version of a feature that, while complete, is pretty bare bones. You go straight to the point and back, and that's it. We do this to try things out without demanding a lot of time from a lot of people for something that is so new. The really cool thing about this project and its flexibility is that we won't have to wait for another year until the feedback is implemented. Yes, you read that right. This event will come back a few times in the year with different themes and continuously bring us feedback from you, the players. So tell us what you think, what you liked and disliked. Let's build the show together. The next version will come quicker than you think. That's all I have to say for now. Hopefully I'll be back in another blog to talk about whatever cool thing I get to create for you next. I also want Raptor to come back. I'm trying, okay? This was great. Like, I didn't think I was going to get that much more information from this blog post since we've already experienced the Style Rider show, but this was a big question I had, was why wasn't it at the mall? And I did come to similar conclusions, mainly with the horses. I mean, if you've gone clothes shopping, there is a area that your horse is technically loaded into, and I have accidentally gotten stuck in that room while shopping before, so obviously there's some complications there. And I also totally understand with the art style not being updated and that it being outside of scope to update the mall just for this. As much as I would love an update to the mall, and I think it would have been really cool if it could have happened at the same time, I also completely understand it is a huge undertaking. That is its own separate project, and each location on the bus stop is its own separate project. If you also notice, to make things even more complicated because of the way that it's loaded in, you can tell that it's kind of loaded in with different rule set. I don't know exactly how they built it, but if you look, the sky in Aideen's Plaza, Governor's Fall, even the mall, if you look up at the windows, it is all the old sky. So they have changed the sky a couple of times through Star Stable's history, and even like with the lighting update and like the day-night cycle, it has changed a couple of times, but there's only a few places that you go that it's the old sky. And that would be like all the mall bus stop locations, and I believe Guardian's Dale, when it suddenly turns to night and you look up, it's the old starry sky. So I think if they update anything on the bus stop, it may require a rebuild. I don't know. I'm not a game designer, but it seems like it's maybe stuck in older systems as well. So that's a whole separate project that hopefully one day they get to. And then the number one reason, with it being too long to get there and there not really being anything else to do there, it does run the risk of players not doing it. How many times do we skip dailies that are inconvenient to get to just because we don't feel like going there? Like, the barrier of fast traveling to the mall or going to the bus stop and then taking the bus stop and waiting for it to load and then walking over to the area, like, especially since you're not on a horse, you're on foot, it's a lot slower. I could see that being a limiting factor, and that just being too much for some players to actually go through. So that is an absolutely valid reason why they wanted to put it somewhere else. I do hope one day that if the mall gets updated, maybe it could move there, but it's also meant to be separate from Fashion Show because it's not the same type of event. Either way, this was surprisingly fascinating. I did not expect to get so much from this particular article, but that's exciting. I'm also really excited at the idea that this is going to be coming back multiple times a year, especially if we like it, if they come up with new themes. I'm excited. Sure, there's bugs for them to work out, like some of the voting menus are a little wonky, like some of the horses don't show up right, but I don't know if it's just a particular breed. It seems like it's always, it kind of looks like a Pasifino that is not loading. I don't know if you guys have noticed that, but anyways, despite the bugs, I'm having such a fun time with the Style Rider show, and I'm excited for them to bring it back. I love these kind of like one-off mini events that they bring back, like the Trailblazer Track, like the Champion Rings, hopefully like Style Rider show. I love these limited time events that aren't like full-blown events. They're not like new content every time, but like they can just be like re-instanced with new outfits or new themes and stuff like that. Like, I'm giddy. I love this. I'm so excited. And hey, maybe one day we'll get a performance from Raptor again. And finally, the big article, the Trailblazer Track, written by Stacy, the game director. Hello again from Stacy, game director for Star Stable Online. While the team is gearing up to take their well-deserved summer breaks, I'm here to drop a line regarding the topic on everyone's mind lately, the Trailblazer Track. First, I'll start by saying that yes, we will be reverting some changes for the next Trailblazer Track. The daily cap is being removed and points for gatherables will return. We did hear your feedback and find it important to continue iterating on the feature, but we are limited in how we can do so given how the system is currently built. In previous blog posts, I mentioned that the Trailblazer Track you enjoy now was built as a proof of concept. We want to add features, functionality, and a better user experience, but this requires a rebuild which is ongoing and will take time. Meanwhile, we had hoped to make tweaks to address more playstyles, but ultimately, until the rebuild is ready, we aren't able to meet those needs as we had hoped. So while we saw many more players complete the most recent tracks than the older ones, it still wasn't quite right. We are grateful that you shared your thoughts and feelings, and that input will help us with our designs going forward. Feedback is incredibly powerful, and giving it in a kind, constructive way helps us in our jobs to make the game enjoyable for all types of players. We see just about everything players share, and I saw lots of folks voicing their thoughts in honest yet effective ways. Trailblazer Tracks will continue to be released while we rebuild the system, and we need your help. It's important to share your thoughts when you're frustrated or unhappy, but we also need to hear what you love about the Trailblazer Track or what you'd like to see added. Tell us what else about the Trailblazer Track would make you super excited to play it. That goes for all our content, of course. Thank you so much for taking the time to read my post, and I look forward to seeing all the fun stuff we have in store this year. Thank you, Stacy. Lots of things to dissect here. So first and foremost, Trailblazer Track is reverting, in some ways at least, to what it was previously. The cap of daily activities is being removed. No more 12 and done. Now we will be able to hopefully get 10 points for everything you do past, which I think is great. I'm so excited that that is returning. Second, gatherables. Points for gatherables will also be returning. So if you prefer to garden, if you prefer to collect recyclables or light or flowers, all of those things will be returning in the next Trailblazer Track. Very exciting stuff. I know that those were the two main things that people were upset about. Understandably, I was upset about them too. But the other really big takeaway here is constructive criticism and constructive feedback and communicating in a respectful yet honest way. Those are the ways that change happens. So thank you to everybody who took the time to write well thought out responses instead of just going straight to hate, because there was a lot of that too, and that was not helpful at all to the conversation. Additionally, it is so hard when so many people are angry to say things that you like about something. And I know that I've tried to leave comments where I'm like, hey, I actually like this thing. And there's always like people underneath it saying like, how dare you like this thing that we're all complaining about? And it's like, sometimes you just gotta like, you gotta tell them what you like in addition to what you don't like. If you are only telling them that you don't like something, they are going to assume the whole thing is bad and it's not redeemable. So they do need to know when we like something also. So I encourage you all, I will be doing more so myself. If you like something, let them know, because otherwise they will not know. So especially while they're building this new Trailblazer track, we have to let them know what we love about the old one. Is it that we love that there are more rewards? Is it that we love that it is infinite to earn points until you complete the track? Personally, I would love it if after you complete the Trailblazer track, you could keep going and maybe just got like 500 Jorvik shillings every time you completed another level. Or like a shiny gemstone, which is, 1,000, so it's double, but like that way you can stack it in your inventory and use them later. Like once you reach the last big prize, like it can just be like a handful of shillings or a shiny gemstone, or maybe then they bring back the flowers where you just kind of get like random one-off rewards. Like that's fine. I don't really need flowers, but basically random items that already exist in the game. But like infinitely, you can just keep going. This way, it also supports the playstyle of people who really play a lot and they just do a lot in this game. And then once they finish Trailblazer, like maybe they kind of pull back a little bit. It's not required to keep going past, but like you're still getting rewarded while Trailblazer Track's going on. So anyways, those are all of the articles in this month's blog post. Overall, this has been a great blog. I know that it was highly anticipated. It had a lot of good news for us, I think, and I'm really excited to see what the future of Star Stable holds. Like, obviously, I said it many times, I'm so excited for Summer Daze Festival. I'm really excited for the future of the Style Riders. It's only been a couple days, but I think it's a hit. Personally, I don't, maybe I just like dress-up games. I don't know, but I'm having such a fun time, and I'm also feeling the competitive spirit, and I'm so trying hard to get to that top 25%. But anyways, thank you so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, make sure to leave a like, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell so you never miss another video like this. I do try to cover every Wednesday update and more, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye!